Hey guys, Joe here, back to the Word. Today with a book kind of Bible review on Proverbs, daily wisdom from Crossway. But before we get started, go ahead and like, subscribe. Love to hear your comments on this edition below, just to improve my content and hear from you, to hear what you guys are thinking about. Maybe you have a favorite verse from Proverbs. I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Today we'll be covering this little edition of Proverbs Daily Wisdom by Crossway. I was challenged recently by one of the pastors I listened to spend time in Proverbs daily and to latch on to some of those lessons and think about them, pray them, and meditate on them throughout the day. And so I was looking online. Did Crossway have a tool for this sort of thing? And I found this edition from 2018, Proverbs Daily Wisdom. It's divided up into readings for 365 days, the full calendar year, and I wanted to share it with all of you. It was printed in 2018. There was only one printing of it done that I know of from R.R. Donnelly. And so I was able to grab this online from a used bookstore. There's a few editions out there, but it is going out of print. But my hope in sharing it with all of you is to encourage you to find ways to get wisdom into your life, to spend time meditating on the wisdom we see in God's word and turn to him. It says on the back here, Proverbs 9:10, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight." We need to be spending time daily seeking the Lord and his wisdom. So let's get right to the review and sharing this with you guys. So for those who are watching this right here, we see the box. It comes in this clamshell hard box. I was fortunate enough to get that when I ordered it online used. For those who need to know, there is the ISBN number and the product information. It retails for $19.99. I've got to pay a little less than that, and obviously, but what you can find online, you see there the hub. You got ESV, Proverbs, Daily Wisdom, and then Crossway, and then you have the back right here. So features 10.5 type. Introduction to the book of Proverbs, divides the book of Proverbs into short readings for the full year, a reading plan, and then it has thick cream colored paper and a ribbon marker and a Smith sewn binding. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box. This is the True Tone Brown Walnut edition. They also have the olive edition with the green True Tone cover. I do not believe they made other cover options for this edition, so this is the True Tone treatment. Just very simple, very light. I'll have a size comparison with some other similar type of products here in a moment, but just really nice, well done. Not something expensive, but this is the type of product you would expect to just have in your car, to have with you, that you can chew on and read. And that's what it's designed to do. So let's go ahead and open it up. So you have this paste-in paper cover sheet, a couple pages for notes, and then you get into this daily wisdom for who it's for. This is a great tool for someone potentially who is new believer, someone who's trying to spend time in God's word, and maybe you can't carry around a Bible everywhere and you just want to have something with you. This would be a great tool or something like it. So there's the Holy Bible, the English Standard Version, and then text edition is 2016, as you can see there. And then we have this ribbon marker right here. So I'm going to put that. This is the normal Crossway ribbon, but we would expect that from Crossway. So 2018, first printing by R.R. Donnelly and Sons. They have this abbreviated introduction. So it says, the message of the Bible is God's wisdom for sinful fools. And from this first sin of Adam and Eve right up to the present time, we have needed God's wisdom. It goes on to talk about the books of Proverbs exist to meet us at the point of our need, and that Christ becomes our wisdom. And one of the ways we can get that wisdom is by spending daily time in Proverbs and other parts of the Bible as well. It moves on to why they created this edition, specifically to spend daily time in Proverbs. Their concern is that people rush through reading the Proverbs, they skip chapters, and they don't chew on it in small bite-sized forms the way it's supposed to be done, that people aren't actually taking time to learn from the Proverbs, but more just speeding through them. And so they wanted to put these readings into 365 daily readings so that people could actually slow down and learn from them. There also is a podcast from Crossway that you can go get online where it runs through all of these readings and reads them to you aloud for a daily podcast. So that's pretty cool. They have an abbreviated preface here for the English Standard Version, and then you get right into Proverbs. You see the threads here for the Smith-sewn binding. The layout of Proverbs, you see right here, Proverbs 1 through 7. So there's 365 days, so one day a year. And then each of them has this heading, and they take the verse numbers away so that you see the layout. This was done in 2018, which is right about the time Crossway was doing a lot of work with the Reader's Edition and Reader's Edition Bibles. And so this kind of follows in that vein. So if verse numbers are important to you, maybe another product is better, but this is going to be unique. It's going to be very easy. This 10.5 font is super easy to read. I really love this. Just very clean. As you flip through the text, you get the narrative parts of Proverbs like this are bigger chunks. And then obviously as you get farther along, you get more layout like this, where it's kind of 2 verses per day. And that continues all the way through to the end. And so Proverbs right there. So keep going through. Lots of room to take notes. This is that thick cream paper that Crossway used for some of their readers editions that are like the box set with the walnut. That's this type of paper. This paper was also recently used in the Be Thou My Vision or by Jonathan Gibson. So the catechism thing where we were reading it every day. So that's what it's, that type of paper, but it's really nice for marking, easy to highlight. And then you get to the end, so you get to Proverbs 31, and then they have this reading plan, which obviously, if you're following along, you don't need, but maybe you miss a day or so, and you need to be reminded on, which day. And then you have a couple note pages at the back. Very simple, but nice product. And so there it is. I'm going to go ahead and put the ribbon marker back in. Now, for those who may be looking around and thinking about this product, Crossway is coming out with a New Testament, Psalms and Proverbs in March of 2023. So you might want to hang around for that. I know that I've heard that single column, it's going to be Bible paper, but it's also going to, because it's Bible paper, it's going to be thinner. And I think the text is going to be smaller than 10.5. It's going to be more around the 8-something mark. So you may choose to go with something different. But what I did want to do is that may be a point for you. Think for that later product is New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs. That may be helpful. I know they have a reader's edition of the Psalms that's very similar to this version that I'm showing you today. So they have a version of Psalms. I just wish kind of Crossway would put them both together. Give us Psalms and Proverbs in like a leather edition that we could carry around everywhere. Obviously, you can do that with a small Bible as well, but I kind of like the reader layout, lots of room for notes. So that's just something that I'd love to personally see. But this is an edition that I'm going to use for a while, carry around, do different devotion things with it, and enjoy. But I did, before I let you guys go, and before I ended this video, compare it to some other New Testament types of sized products that you guys would know about. So this is the Daily Wisdom here on the right. And then this over here is my Legacy Standard Bible in cowhide. It is the New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs. Now, why would I choose this one over this? Now, there's not really a reason to choose one over the other. Both of them are nice additions. But one thing I will say is that if you open this Legacy Standard, we have this double column verse by verse format, which is great. I love it. So you have Psalms and Proverbs. So it really depends on how many notes you kind of want to make, because I kind of like having it in one edition or in one column layout without the verse numbers because you focus more on the words. And there's nothing wrong with this edition. I love this, the beautiful Bible paper. The people at Steadfast Bibles have done a great job with this edition. But you can see how this text side by side, this is so super easier to read, lots of room to make notes, to highlight, to do certain things. But if you just want to read it, this is a version of something, a similar type of translation thing to get. And I'm sure that's why Crossway is coming out with the New Testament Psalms and Proverbs in the ESV translation. For those who want to know size comparison, here is the Valley of Vision in the leather, and then the Daily Wisdom on the right. They're close to the same size, as you can see, on top of each other. But that's the type of size we're talking about. I mean, it would fit in a large pants pocket or something of similar, but it's just something small, something to spend time in God's Word. So this is my copy of the Valley of Vision. You see those comparison there. So end of the day, this is a beautiful version of Proverbs for those who want a bite-sized version to read, to carry along, to keep portable, perhaps to put notes in. If you're interested in it, I know that it is selling out multiple places and they're not printing it anymore at this moment as I'm making this video. But I would encourage you, spend time in Proverbs, spend time in God's Word, learning from His wisdom. Do whatever you have to break it up into bits so that you can think about it, meditate on it, and apply it. That's the point of this video, is what do you need to do? What product do you need to get so that you can keep God's Word with you, that you can keep reading it, and then you can keep thinking about it, applying it, and then living it out where you are in your walk with Jesus Christ. So until next time, I just want to encourage you to continue to read, treasure, and follow the Word. I'll see you guys soon.